The construction industry today is on the edge of change. Digitalization is now today being implemented more in our construction activities. And Mohamed Nagi from ASGC has joined us to talk about his role as the implementer of the digitalization within his organization. Mohamed, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
This is a really interesting subject, and you and I have discussed this before.
Yes.
But tell us a little bit about your role at ASGC.
So basically, at ASGC, we are a contracting group that is based here in UAE. We're about 10 companies. We work in different sectors and fields. The thing is, we were always about the physical products, so about delivering the building, about having the structural steel, about having the precast. But we started a new entity which is called Analytica, and the whole purpose of the new entity is to focus more on the management and digitalization. So the management of everything when it comes to processes and projects, and the digitalization of all the processes involved in the construction industry. So we have been focusing on trying to do this in ASGC Group for the past few years. And this is why we started a separate company to serve the full group and even the external market. And mainly I'm responsible of trying to map the processes and the areas where we actually we're not doing well, we're not at the best levels within this area, and try to see if digital solutions and digitalization can help, and business intelligence can help in getting us to a better place or not. This is simply it. So we have a problem, we identify problems. This is I'm a part of the team that identifies problems and gaps within the organization, and then we start seeing what are the solutions, and if the solution, one of them is digital solutions and business intelligence, I'm responsible of trying to approach the stakeholders, trying to get them on board, trying to change the mindset, and then we start implementing projects and initiatives and developing things even from the scratch to be able to do that.
So this is a relatively new role for you, I understand.
Yes.
So how's the process going? Because I in the past have had a look at the ASGC website.
Yeah.
And I've seen that they have a vision to move into this area of digitalization. And now they've employed you.
Yes.
And so I guess their appointment of you is to ensure that they now see implementation. How's that process going for you?
So far we have been having very, very solid steps in that. We did a lot of, as you said, it has been a vision for the last around 2.5 years, and we have did a lot of steps in that, and we have failed in some of the things, but then we knew we were able to map what is the process through which we need to do the change itself, and through which we need to digitalize, and that we don't need to go big and just spend money and hire a lot of people and just start implementing everything all at once. We need to take it step by step, map problems properly, start implementations properly, take the proper timeline to do that, factor into consideration, which is a very important thing, is the mindset change within the organization, the stakeholders onboarding, because if you don't have your stakeholders on board, you're doomed to fail. No matter how much the solutions and the things you're coming up with are fancy, are nice, they can actually make a change. You don't have the stakeholders, you're losing. This is a fact. And this was parts of our failures before, and this is why we have had a changed approach in the past around year, and we're doing things differently. So we like to call it incremental changes. So we have areas here and there. We don't take safety, for example, or quality, and we start digitalizing everything. We take a specific area in safety.
What are some of those specifics within the organization?
One of the things we were focusing on in the beginning was reporting. So we didn't want the reporting to be in the same mechanism of just PDF reports and so on. We wanted things to be more interactive. We wanted people to have experiences that would actually bridge the gap between the offices, the sites, different locations, different countries, and so on. So the first thing we focused on is reality capturing, how we capture reality through digital solutions, not just simply by taking photos, but having portal and the dashboard, and then how we have all our systems integrated within dashboard. We have other systems that capture the reality, which we like to call it reality capturing, through 360 cameras and so on, and we can show it to the stakeholders through VR, through different things to ensure accountability of the people delivering the project, and to also ensure that everyone is engaged and they don't need to go through the hassles of going physically to site and trying to review the same in the same way. Then we move to safety and quality. So one of the things we are focusing on right now is quality, how how to bridge the gap between site and stakeholders. We don't need to hire on every site an army of people that are not doing work except for one day, but we need them, but only for one day. So how to manage things remotely. So right now we have deployed a VR system where you combine 360 cameras with VR on a custom-made platform where people can meet, can inspect, can do everything from multiple countries even at the same time. And this is now in testing and it's proving popular among the stakeholders. We're focused on safety, how to do safety simulations, how to do safety trainings, how to do drills. We cannot have drills and have people counted at the meeting point anymore. This is not viable. In a construction site that has 1,000 workers working in it, this is not even an option. We cannot have that running in that way anymore. So we have used a lot of things when it comes from QR codes, RFIDs, iris scanning and so on to make sure that we have a grip on what is happening on site in terms of safety and working to enhance that more to make sure that we're preventing accidents.
So it sounds like you're taking the digitalization process, implementing it in your organization to create efficiencies.
Of course.
And efficiencies, of course, mean improvement in profits, less cost.
Of course.
Whether it's a saving in raw material or a saving in time, it contributes, it's a contribution to the business success.
Of course.
The area of safety, however, is a little bit different. How has this been adopted in the organization?
So basically we look at safety as one of the main pillars. Like every construction company, safety is of the utmost importance. But at the end of the day, the way we looked at it, in the last 10 years, we have had the same procedures and things happening in every site. And it depends on the integrity and the proactiveness of the people involved on this specific project to make sure that those things are implemented. So we have looked at how we can make the experiences more relevant, more interactive, make sure that the accountability is even raised further. So one of the things we have done is that we have mandated every site to have mandatory trainings and mandatory pop-up, like let's call them pop-up quizzes for the labor. How can you do that if you're doing it in the same exact way? You can. This is time consuming. As you said, it's money loss. So you will have a lot of detractors. So it's not that easy. So creating some kind of a gaming engine that a worker in the morning, we can have just a random sample of 10 workers. You are right now going for a pop-up test. And just in 5 minutes, we simulate what will they do in specific situations. Here you go, you have your test. You have your verification that people have the adequate knowledge. This knowledge was actually gained through a VR experience, which is completely different than showing them a PowerPoint in the video and telling them what they should do. It's not effective.
So they're more interactive with the need for safety. It becomes part of their culture, I guess you'd say?
Exactly. We have a labor academy. So ASGC has established a labor academy more than a year and a half ago to onboard labor when they arrive to ASGC and to make sure that they develop their skills. Part of that now, we have added the safety part. So we used to train them on safety in a very traditional way. Now we have reinvented that to make it more efficient, less time consuming, make sure that the audience or the workers are grasping the information in a much easier, more guaranteed approach.
Fantastic. Do you think that you'll ever be more passionate than you are now about this subject? Because I don't know anyone that's
I don't see what you see actually, but yeah, I hope I actually...
You live this, I can see that.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Mohamed, thanks for joining us here at Ventures Onsite.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate the continued support from ASGC.
Thank you.
And I know you've been very much involved with our construction technology seminars and various activities within the Ventures Middle East.
I'm always glad you guys have been doing very well and we're looking for more in the near future.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Have a great show. Take care.